So in spring of 2023, Miyoo actually released a Miyoo Mini Plus handheld gaming console. Over the past few years, gaming emulation handhelds have increased in popularity. However, this one has really stuck out to me. This inexpensive console seems to hit all the right spots, but is it worth it? So before we get started, let's have a look at the specs of the system and what you're getting. So you get the console, which has a 3.5 IPS screen, a 64GB SD card that is preloaded with thousands of games ranging all the way from Atari all the way up to PS1. It has a 3000 mAh battery and charges via the USB-C cable. What's really cool about this is it comes with a screen protector and a USB adapter should one of the thousands of games on there not be the one you're looking to play. So today we are going to talk about the Miyoo Mini and the Miyoo Mini Plus, and I've actually brought a friend onto the channel to talk about this, so welcome in Kitsune Bites.
Yo, how's it going, everybody?
Let's get into it. So recently I bought a Miyoo Mini, and I bought this thing because basically I fancied a bit of handheld gaming, something that wasn't too over the top. I've heard some really good things about the console.
So I grabbed a Miyoo Mini Plus, not because, a handsome Welshman talked me into it. I got one because this little guy, the Miyoo Mini OG, to me that seems like the perfect little size for handheld gaming. Why do I need something any bigger? You know what I mean?
So the Miyoo Mini actually was very hard to get hold of because of stock issues with the screen. So they eventually brought out the Miyoo Mini Plus, and this little handheld is actually really capable. I've seen a lot of really good things online about it, and I had to get one for myself. So all the software and the ROMs in this really shocked me because it's got everything from like the Atari all the way up to PlayStation 1.
The capabilities of both devices here, the Miyoo Mini, the Miyoo Mini Plus, are pretty intense. I mean, out of a small package that's what, about $60? You get on the Plus, you get Wi-Fi, so you can play with your friends. You could also do ad hoc, just like the PSP used to do back in the day, and the DS. It's kinda interesting to see just out of the box everything that this little toy has come with. You know what I mean? Like, all these other emulation handhelds that have come out of China are either ridiculously big with Switch Joy-Cons in awkward places, or they're trying to look like a Switch Lite with, again, joysticks in awkward places. This kinda takes you back to the Game Boy Pocket. If you don't want to spend $100 on an original hardware Game Boy and another 100 on all the mods and stuff, you just pick up this little guy. I think it's pretty good. I mean, like James was saying, right out of the box, this thing's packed with 1,000+ ROMs. You have everything from Atari up to PlayStation. Now, how these people got these ROMs, I don't know, because I like to use legal means to acquire my ROMs. But no, I mean, it's a nifty little thing. I'm really glad that I did pick one up. I was sad whenever the Miyoo Mini OG wasn't around as much due to supply constraints, because the screen size. I mean, if you look at this thing, I think the Anbernic uses this, and nobody's using this little guy. Nobody. Like, that's it. What? It's 2.8 inch IPS. So, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. As much as I like the small form factor, man, I'm starting to, the bigger one's growing on me.
So that's one of the big selling points for this system, is the fact that this cost me just over £50, and I bought this on AliExpress and had it sent from China directly to my house. So this thing is really capable, and one of the things that I was watching and checking out online is you can actually mod the software in this little system, and that really improves the overall experience. Unio OS fixes any problems that you may find with the Miyoo Mini. Basically, it's a custom operating system that allows you to be able to manipulate other things that you couldn't do on the stock firmware. These are such little things like changing emulators for the different systems, because there have been some of the games that really stutter and struggle with the audio, and just by changing up the emulators on this system, it fixes a lot of the issues that you may have. By putting the custom firmware on here, you are now able to watch movies, listen to music, as well as play a plethora of games. You're able to do things as well, like KB was saying with Pokemon, where you're able to trade with people via the network that you're on. Now, this wasn't capable in the original stock firmware, but by putting this on there, it just opens up the world to be able to share with your friends. Not only that, it allows you to be able to play more than one game with your friends as well. So if you're playing an arcade game, you can actually play up to 4-player on some games, which is, again, another game changer for me. This little Chinese emulation handheld system is able to do a lot of things that haven't been done before, and it does it pretty well. However, there are a few things on this system that aren't perfect. They still haven't quite mastered it, even with the Onion OS drop. So one of the things that you have to be careful with this system, if you are going to load it up and boot it full of custom firmware, just be aware that if you put in ROMs on there, you have to be specific with what you're doing on there, because if there's the slightest little thing that's wrong, it won't work. So you can go over to the custom wiki page for Onion OS just to check and clarify this. It's also important to make sure that you got your BIOS files backed up as well. One of the things that I will say is pretty important, I would 100% do this, is back up the SD card that comes with the Miyoo Mini, because not only does it have all the ROMs on there, but it will actually have all the BIOS files on there too.
So on that note, a couple things that I would have liked to have seen would have maybe been more use of the Wi-Fi chip to transfer stuff over, because it is kind of annoying to have to constantly take out the SD card whenever you want to put anything new on there, whether it be movies, music, games, themes, what have you. I do know the theme shop does come with like 30 preloaded on there, but if there's anything else you want, you have to power it down, take the SD card out, put that in your computer. I mean, it's a minor inconvenience, but it's one of those things that would have sweetened it for me. I know the other thing is build quality overall. I mean, yeah, we're not paying a fortune for these things. We're not paying $500 for a gaming handheld. It's, keep in mind it's 60 US here for us. And I do note that the original one feels a lot more sturdier, as in the build quality overall, like on my Plus. The screen at the bottom kind of has a little bit of a wiggle. One of my shoulder buttons is real like creaky, but that's also something that I experience on my ROG Ally. That's a $700 handheld. So I mean, it's minor things like that, but you can overlook it due to the price. The screen could fall out, and I'd say, all right, well, I'll just chuck some more double-sided tape in there and be on my way. So it's just minor annoyances. The other thing is just the size of it, man. If I want to throw it in my pocket, it sticks out like a sore thumb. If I take the OG Mini, you don't know it's there, So like those are my gripes with the system.
So one of the most amazing things that you can do with this is there's a company out there called Sekura who actually do various different things for a lot of different sort of Chinese handheld systems. One of the things that I really wanted to do was make my Miyoo Mini into a mini PlayStation. So what I actually did was I converted it into a mini PlayStation. I changed over the buttons. I was able to change. This is just a really high quality print of a sticker, of a label. I also managed to put the PlayStation theme onto my Miyoo Mini, which makes it look absolutely amazing. So now I feel like I'm playing a proper PlayStation handheld portable. I absolutely love this, and the quality is there, so make sure you go check them out if you're looking for modern. The other thing about this is you can make it look like an SNES, you can make it look like a Game Boy. There are a ton of different options, so this is really customizable as well, and the aesthetics for it are great.
This was something I had talked to you about before we started all this. You can do, because it's running, a lot of the emulators are running through RetroArch, you can actually put overlays on, and I'm going to hold one up here for you. Just let me get it set up. But what you do is you go into the quick menu on whatever emulator you're using, and this doesn't just go for the Mini. This goes for anything running the RetroArch system. So you can have whatever overlay you want. And it's really nice because you can make it look like a Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Sega Game Gear. They all have something there, which I think adds just that little bit, just that little extra something. I don't know how good the screen's gonna pick it up, but I mean, look at that. It's a mini DMG right now. So it's how can you not want to just add that further, you know what I mean? And this is something, again, that isn't really talked about a lot, because a lot of people just want to start the game up and play it. They don't want to have to do any fiddling. That's where a lot of people don't like PC gaming right now, because it's, oh, I gotta fiddle with it, you know what I mean? I'd rather just fire up a console, and you could do that on here. You can just fire it up and play it without any problem.
This last amazing thing I want to talk about is retro achievements. Now, you can actually load this through RetroArch on your Miyoo Mini, and I highly recommend it. It's a very similar thing to modern day consoles, where you actually get achievements for different things that you want to tackle in retro games. So there we go, guys. That is the Miyoo Mini. What do you think? Is this a little system that you're interested in? Let us know down in the comments below. Anyways, guys, big thank you to KB for coming on the channel. I appreciate his input. He's got the little Miyoo Mini, which is amazing. And yeah, the Miyoo Mini Plus. So he was the perfect guy. He also loves to tinker around. So make sure you check his channel out. And I'll put the link down in the description below. Make sure you go give him some love. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.